They have a sword in the stone right here, and I'm pretty sure this is how they figure out who's going to be the next great Knights quarterback, because they become kings. I do not have the strength. She is back with a brand new paint job, and she's looking great. She's actually the sister of the Miss Home Street, that beauty over there, the blue and white one. It's not make or break time this game, but you definitely want the momentum, you definitely want home ice, and you want to control your own destiny. You see that smile on Russell Wilson's face? That is not just $1 million smile. That is a $140 million smile. Coming into today's state title game, Royal had just been dominating opponents. It wasn't even close, but Linden Christian, they were ready for it. They took the fight to the Knights early on. Skip, what is it?
You're in the starting lineup.
Oh, man.
You're in the number 9 spot.
Number 9 spot. Playing left field. We also just found out who is all-conference MCC soccer, so I have to cut that, write that, and get going. Bottom of the first at FanFest. I'm suited up, got 51 on for Ichiro. We're taking on the studs. NHL draft year for you. How have you been able to kind of deal with the pressure that comes with that and just focus on hockey? One more time, Kendall, let's hear you. We'll see you Friday Night Fever tonight. Mick Miller and I, we'll bring it to you. The WIAA State Wrestling Regionals are this week. Dozens of local wrestlers are already on their way to the tournament. Some are there. Chihuahua is taking a school record 24 this weekend. Victor Silva is one of them, trying to advance to the state tourney for the second straight year. And there is something very special about the senior. If you listen closely at any sporting event, you get a pretty good understanding of what's happening. Whistles blow, fans yell, chants, crowds cheering, again and again, building till it creates a chaotic, electric atmosphere. Now press mute. All is quiet. Sight and feel take over.
If people are yelling, I can feel the vibration, and they have their music going on. I can feel it when it's just getting that excitement going on. That's what gives me the confidence. That's what I get excited about.
Chihuahua wrestler Victor Silva is deaf, but he's also a trailblazer. Victor is the first American Sign Language deaf wrestler in the state of Washington.
People just kind of look at me as, oh, it's a deaf person. They can't do that. Well, I said, yeah, I'm obviously wrestling. I go to practices, and it doesn't matter if I'm deaf or hearing, I'm a wrestler.
I've had quite a few conversations with Victor over the last few years about him realizing what he's actually doing and how important and how impressive it is. Not only that, he's one of the best in the state.
Being the first at anything means you must break down barriers. And in Victor's case, that means rule changes.
They're saying it's illegal for an interpreter to go around the mat, but that's access to my communication. And how else am I supposed to do it? When the coaches are yelling at their hearing wrestlers, I'm supposed to be able to see what they're saying.
We actually had to dive into like a national court case where they had a deaf student that was wrestling, where they filed a lawsuit and won. Most people can hear at all times whether they're looking at their coach or not.
For me, I'm trying to always make sure that even if he can't see me, maybe he'll be in his peripheral. And if I ever feel nervous, I just kind of think about borrowing some of Victor's confidence too.
Obviously, this isn't the first setback the state qualifying wrestler has dealt with in his life. Just communicating from day to day is a work in progress.
Let's work it out. Let's write it down. Let's try to communicate. If you're talking fast or there's no interpreter, I can't memorize everything that you're trying to tell me. So I think just communication in general has been a challenge.
We're gonna drink a lot of water. Go get a good dinner tonight.
I wanted to learn ASL and I wanted to talk to him. Just learning things is a great way to connect with your teammates, especially one with, that speaks a different language.
Every obstacle Victor faces, he approaches the very same way.
I don't believe in quitting. I never want to quit whatever I do.
He's a fighter, a confident fighter. You quickly realize why he's successful and why everyone gravitates towards him.
My hope is that Victor can be an inspiration to all the other deaf students out there, that they can be a part of school activities and school sports.
Meeting new people and getting out of your comfort zone is just something that I feel like everybody needs to experience.
I said that you can wrestle, you can't hear. In turn, I can hear, but I can't wrestle, so we make a good team. It's just the proof that deaf can do anything. As a deaf person, it doesn't matter.
Really, really cool kid, very confident, very charismatic. But another interesting note about this story is Tyson, who you saw there speak about him, is a favorite in the state tournament. They're both wrestling 170s this year. But Tyson moved up so that Victor would have a clear shot to make it back to Tacoma. And I thought that was a really selfless and mature thing to let, one of his good friends have the opportunity to make it back to state. Dynasty is a word reserved for the supremely successful, the 1% in sports like the Patriots, Michael Jordan's Bulls, the Royal Knights. Royal City is home of the state champs once again. And any way you look at it, 4-5 or 8 since 2000, that is dynastic. Head coach Wiley Allred deserves his due. The Hall of Fame architect is as intense as he is humble. We hit the ice at Americans practice, and it was way too cold in the Ox rink today. They keep it at like sub 30. I don't know why. Defenseman Luke Zazula is making the transition to not only the Tri-Cities, but to the United States after being traded from Kamloops on Thanksgiving Eve. He's already said he's put on a couple pounds because of American food. And you'll notice that he's an extremely good skater, a skill he picked up competing in a different ice sport.
When I started skating, I was around 4 or 5. I think it's a bit of natural.
Where were you when this happened? Tiger Woods winning his 15th major, his 5th green jacket. I know I'll never forget where I was on April 14, 2019, in my living room, watching the whole thing unfold, every single shot starting at 6 a.m. And this was actually on the 12th hole when the tournament changed. As you can see, very locked in there. They've only scored just 6 all year. Second Richland drive already 7-0. Josh Fauner, Dehanye Guy slips, but he's going to find his footing and get in for the score. It's 14-0, and the seniors playing for a very special reason. Let's hand it off to 38 again. He's going to walk right into your camera. Tonight would have been his late father's birthday, so he pointed to the sky after every score. He wanted 4 for his dad's 40th birthday, and he got it. You know the name Ryan Leaf, Cougar hero, a Heisman finalist, the quarterback drafted right after Peyton Manning, a bust. But that's just half his story. That's the way you like to run. Just give me the ball and keep going. Where's that mentality come where the more touches you get, the better you feel like you are? Twin day at Toyota Center. Beck Warm facing his twin brother, Will. And then newly acquired Luke Zazula also making his AMS debut. First period on the rebound. Gary Hayden puts that one home. And you just missed it there. It's 1-0. And Royals faithful are in the house. Seconds left in the first. Sasha Mutala, tic-tac-toe, and it gets past, but it's clear off the line, and they showed it up on the brand new video boards. It was that close a couple times, so it goes into the third period. Same score, 1-0, and it's a loose puck. Payson Bjorklund, no look, backhand. Edge Lambert, tie game, but the Royals will get 2 goals late in the third. Tri-City's losing streak is now at 6 games. This is the time of year when college football coaching rumors are thrown around with reckless abandon. So when the news broke earlier today that Washington's Chris Peterson is stepping down, you had to double check to make sure it was from a reliable source. Well, when it's the university, then yeah, it's definitely true. Huskies head coach Chris Peterson is stepping down after Washington's bowl game this year. Spokane native Jimmy Lake will take over the program. No interim tag attached. That's interesting. In 6 years as head coach, Peterson led the Huskies to 2 Pac-12 titles, 3 straight New Year's bowl games, and a playoff appearance in 2016. Here's what Coach Peterson had to say in his statement. I will forever be grateful, honored, and humbled to have had the opportunity to coach our fine young men on Montlake for the past 6 seasons. I thank each of them, as well as our coaches and administrative staff, for the incredible commitment they've had to Husky football during my tenure. I'll be a Husky for life, but now is the right time for me to step away from my head coaching duties and recharge.